Well, thank you. We have a familiar face here. Yankee fans love seeing this face. Scott Brosius, now part of the Mariners coaching staff, back in a familiar place. Scott, it's the 20-year anniversary of the '98 World Series championship. Obviously, you were the MVP of that series. When you think back to that year, what's the memory you replay in your mind most?
Yeah, number one, I think back, I can't believe it's been 20 years. You know, it really kind of feels like it was just the other day, you know. So I guess a lot of good memories feel that way. They feel like they're really recent. But a lot of great things about that season. But, you know, for me personally, the thing that I remember the most is the dog pile. You know, for the first time, the first championship, being a part of it is literally something I thought about from the time I was a kid. What would that be like? And so being a part of the dog pile, you know, after Game 4 in San Diego for me was the greatest part of it.
I mean, you guys end up winning 125 games when you include regular season and postseason. Do you feel like that was the greatest team of all time?
I've never seen a better one or been around a better one, just because it was so complete. You know, we had the pitching, we had the starters, we had the bullpen, we had an offense that could score different ways, not just necessarily hit home runs, but a balanced offense, a great bench, a defense. So it kind of had everything, but the biggest thing is we had a group of guys that competed, you know, and the will to win and just the desire to play every single game to try to win. Unbelievable combination to have.
How much do you guys keep in touch, the members of that special team from '98?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think as years go by, you know, as guys go, they go their different ways. And so, you know, events obviously like are coming up later this year, I think are great ways for the guys to get together. And so there's a few guys that you continue to text and kind of keep up with. And you come into their area, the woods, you try to say hi. But, you know, outside of that, I'm not sure there's a ton of talk that goes on between the guys, you know, about those teams or about those seasons. But, you know, like later this year when they get together, a lot of stories, I'm sure.
Yankees fans are definitely curious about this series against your Mariners. You guys are having a terrific season. For people who haven't gotten to see your ball club a ton this year, what would you say has been your guys' calling card, the main reasons for your success?
Yeah, I think, you know, this year what's, you know, in some ways, and again, not to make comparisons to, you know, the type of teams that we had here, but, you know, you win games with good pitching and good defense, and then you want your offense to come along, you know, when it can. And so we've had some bumps that we've had to overcome. I think any championship team has to do that. You have to get through some things, and with Robbie's suspension, injury, things like that, kind of a big piece of our lineup has gone out, and so our pitching really has been carrying the load here for this last month or so. We've pitched extremely well, scored runs, you know, when we needed to, and we've been a good late inning team. And so I think those are things that are kind of hallmarks of good teams.
I can't let you go without asking you, where is the World Series MVP trophy? Where do you keep it?
It's at my home in Oregon. It's just in the den there. You know, we've since moved to kind of a smaller house, but so it sits in the den next to the computer, and yeah, you walk by and you see some, you know, you walk by the house and you're reminded, and like I said, you don't really need the reminders too much because it really does not feel like it's been 20 years.